Hey guys, Ningen here, and today we are jumping into Boss Rush 3 just to do a showcase of my newly rainbow starred Super Saiyan Blue INT Vegeta. If you've seen the latest episode of Super, you know that times are looking good for the Prince of all Saiyans. So I decided, after having the orbs spare for quite a while, that I'd actually finally get round to filling out his tree and getting him to 100%. So going to show him off a little bit here and see what he can do. We've already got him on the rotation with Trunks, which is perfect because they share tons of links. Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, Prepared for Battle, the Royal Lineage. So let's see what he can do. This is just my standard Super INT team that I use. So 673 without a crit, and then he gets an additional super, which is a crit for 1.3 million. So literally takes out the Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku all by himself. And we'll move on to the Great Ape form here. What I'll probably do is we'll keep the Gogetas off rotation, which normally would seem odd, but we obviously don't want him to just destroy everybody before we get a chance to see exactly what Vegeta can do. Like I said, it's my standard Super INT team. I will, after this round of attacks, I'll just bring up the team menu quickly and show you the stats that I have given Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So we'll seal up the Azaru here so we don't have to worry about taking tons of damage. And everyone will chip away. I probably should have, I wasn't really paying attention to the key. I probably should have tried deliberately to not give Gogeta a super attack, but that's okay. So let's stick Gogeta off to the end. Right, so bring up Vegeta here. There you go, that nice rainbow star, plus 5,000 to all stats. So I gave him 9 additional, 12 crit, and he obviously has the 5 dodge because he's a free unit. For these last slots here, I used to give the, when I first started using the hidden potential system, I used to give the extra 5 rainbow star to this recovery boost thing because it seemed like a good idea to just be able to get a little bit of health back. But nowadays, now that we know that Super Battle Road is a thing, I feel like it's definitely worth putting the extra levels in this just so you can reduce the amount of damage that you're going to take in that mode, because realistically in all the other things like the Dokkan events and things like that, those extra 5 levels in either of those stats are probably not going to make a huge amount of difference. But in Super Battle Road, you're obviously going to want to take as little damage as possible. So those are his stats. 9 additionals and 12 crits I feel is pretty good for an INT unit. Obviously, if it's a unit like Gogeta or somebody who has a really useful super attack mechanic, then it might be worth giving them 12 additional and 9 crit. But since he's on the team to hit hard, I feel like that was a worthwhile investment. He's definitely going to be a great unit for the Super INT Super Battle Road team because of that passive where he lowers the attack of the extreme enemies, which means since all of the enemies you're going to fight for the Super INT Super Battle Road are all going to be extreme tech, it means he's going to lower their attack every time he's on the rotation. So there you go, 90 damage from a standard attack because his defense is so high. So, and there's another 1.3 million crit. So you can see, obviously it kind of goes without saying that when you rainbow star a unit that was already pretty good to begin with, you're going to get good results. But it's pretty crazy to see the sheer amount of damage that he is actually doing. So I'll put Goten in the front there to try and tank that first attack, and then Bardock can stun. Let's give Piccolo the ultimate just because we can. My Piccolo is Rainbow Star as well. Obviously you collect enough of them from the World Tournament over the last few. I mean, I think ever since the first one where he was added, I've managed to place high enough in the local rankings to get at least one every time. And then his super attack was farmable with the Strike Piccolo, so it doesn't take too long to get him up to 100%, and he makes a great tank. He also shares Prodigies with Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, so if we get them together on another rotation, that's another 10% attack. So we'll try and do that the next time they are on the same rotation together. So he's sealed now, so we'll let Vegeta tank those hits at the front with his high defense. Trunks can get all of those for the attack boost. And then we will grab a quick heal just in case. Well, actually thinking about it, I completely forgot that Goku was stunned, but we'll let Gogeta get a super here so we can potentially go on to the next phase a little bit sooner. I probably will only do maybe the first two battles, the two Super Saiyan 4s, just because although I guess depending how quickly we get to Cooler, we'll be able to see what he can do against a unit where he has type disadvantage. The fact that his defense is so high means he might be able to take hits a little bit better than anyone else on the team, aside from LR Piccolo, obviously. Gogeta come in here and finish off Goku. And then we can move on to Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. So just jump straight in here. We'll do the same again for these first few phases and just leave Gogeta off the rotation. Let Goten tank up the front there. I've mentioned it many times before, but I think that Goten is a great unit. He has a high chance to reduce the damage he takes by 40%. So you can see that he's taking double digits. Mine has one dupe. I opened his bottom right path and have been using the SR Gotens that you get frequently from summons just to raise his super attack. So he's not quite at 10 yet, but definitely getting there. And then I put some extra dodge into him, seeing as though he has a high chance to tank, but it's obviously not 100%. So since he won't be on the team to hit hard, he'll just be there for that defense. I'll give him some extra dodge, and then any of the stars that are additional or crit, I'll probably just give him crit. So now we can get the Piccolo. We need to keep them on rotation really, just because of all the great links that they share. So we'll see how much he's going to do here with type advantage and don't want to get all of those. We'll grab those for Piccolo because why not? I rarely get to see his ultra super, so. But yeah, so we're going to get to see he's got the extra 10% attack bonus from Piccolo and he's got type advantage. So if we get a crit, we're easily looking at 2 mil, maybe 2.5, but let's see. So here we go. Always love this super attack animation. The bit where they go back to the future to fight Goku Black and he does that is just so cool. And there you go, so 1.3 mil, which is what we were getting with crits against neutral damage, just straight up without a crit. So I think with a crit we're easily looking at 2.5 mil. So he can definitely output the damage, and that is what he is here for. So definitely a worthwhile investment, I think. And then we'll get a super with Gogeta so we can just blow straight through the Super Saiyan 3 stage and get on to the Super Saiyan 4. So 34k, not too bad. And then triple digits on the normal attack. There's also the Tech Kid Trunks that is basically the same as that Goten. The only difference is he will always mitigate damage by 40%, but only against agility types, so it's only when he's guarding. So again, that makes him a really good choice for the Super Tech team for Super Battle Road, because he's always going to be reducing the damage he takes. Plus the fact that he is Super Saiyan Kid Trunks means that he's going to have good links with everybody. So we didn't manage to finish him off that turn, so we're going to get to see another big hit from Vegeta here, and he will finish him off for sure. So let's see. Back to neutral typing, and then yeah, another crit for 1.3. So even with just the level 12 in crit, that's a 24% chance to crit, and he definitely seems to be coming through quite regularly. I haven't seen the level 5 dodge come into play yet, but I'm not surprised really. Let's see. Let's I guess we should probably seal him up first, even though Bardock will take a little bit more damage from the basic attacks. Of course, now in my luck, he'll probably super attack first, but it always seems to happen when you put your sealers in the first slot. But we got lucky that time, so he's going to seal him up, and then he's taking 22k from a normal attack. Let's see the difference between that and Goten. Hopefully Goten can actually get his guard passive. So 17k. I think because his stats are slightly higher, so I don't think his passive actually came into play there, because that should have been a lot less. Right, so here we go. So we've got Vegeta here. He's sealed, so Vegeta's going to be able to do some tanking. Oh, and we get the Dokkan, so that is perfect. Definitely was not paying attention to the bar there, but what better way to showcase Vegeta 100% than with a Dokkan attack against his Super Saiyan 4 self. He's got almost all his life bars left. He's only down by about half of one. So, well, unfortunately missed that middle one, but hopefully we should still do a pretty good amount of damage, especially if we get a crit. So, let's see what we can do with the 100% Dokkan attack. Here we go. So only a mil, although I suppose Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta does have very high defense. I'm not sure how much difference it makes hitting that one extra node on the Dokkan attack, but let's see what Gogeta is going to do. Obviously Gogeta is super effective against all types, so you can't really compare the damage between the two, but he did 840k with technically type advantage, so Vegeta still doing a mil without a crit from the Dokkan attack is not the worst thing. So let's see if we can quickly just go get through the Cooler Squadron and see what Vegeta can actually do against Cooler. So put Goten in the front. We'll leave Gogeta there just so we can get rid of the physical guy. And then we'll get Bardock to seal Thouser. Can he get his passive to go off? Don't think so. Well, there wasn't much more damage than the normal attack, so potentially. And then Gogeta should finish off this guy easily enough. Yeah. And then he's going to seal him up so he can't super us again next turn. Thouser's always the most annoying one. He seems to super fairly regularly. So let's give the kill to Vegeta. So yeah, pairing him with Trunks means he always only ever needs 3 ki, which is definitely good. And then we'll give Piccolo the purples just because with his higher input into the hidden potential system, we'll get a little bit of extra health back than if we did it with Trunks. I did a YOLO multi on the banner when Trunks and Merge Zamasu first came out and got the INT Trunks. So I did the crazy grind on the Dragon Ball Super Story event where you grind out the STR ones to try and get his super attack to 10 without using Kais. And it took a while, but I managed to do it. And then ever since then I've never actually pulled a dupe of him, which is a shame because the fact that he's super attack 10 means that dupe can go straight in the bottom right and he can get some decent buffs. But and Gogeta gets a dodge. Wow, dodging the super attack, that is awesome. So I'm going to deal a nice amount of damage to Cooler and gets an additional normal attack just to make sure, put him in the ground. So yeah, Gogeta is one of those units, as I said, he is definitely worth giving additionals to, because whilst his passive, people get confused, his passive is that he attacks as though he had type advantage, so that's not the same as automatically critting, because you can obviously hit with type advantage and get a crit for even more damage, but because he always hits with type advantage and his super attack lowers the enemy's attack, it's really useful to give him additionals. because the more times he supers, he's got the higher defense, all him in the front. The more time he supers, the more they're going to lower the attack, and obviously he's going to deal crazy damage every time because of that type advantage. So grab all of these. You can really see the power of Super INT, like any of the other sort of showcases that I often do, or the how to run sort of things. I definitely think about healing, but we've still got sort of over 18k health. We got 31,000. Sorry, 319,000. Okay, 319,000 health overall. Can't English at the moment apparently. So Super INT definitely one of the more powerful mono teams. Not just because Gogeta himself is so good, but with units like the LR Piccolo to tank, the Goten is a useful tank, Bardock for sealing. Obviously there are many different options that you can sort of play around with to change up the team build, and it still works very effectively. There's the INT Whis, who's a great support unit. There's the Pandel from the Fusions banner, who's a good support unit, gives an attack boost, and also has Fused Fighter, which means she'll give key to Gogeta if they're on the same rotation and you link them together. So there's definitely a few good options for Super INT, plus the fact, like I say, Gogeta is so good. It's one of the reasons why Super STR was probably the best team in the game for a while, before the categories came out. Maybe it still is the best one of the mono teams, I'm not really sure, but mainly just because Goku is so powerful. So right, so we're going to put Trunks at the front, so we can see how much Vegeta can tank for in the middle there. And then we will give Gogeta a super, just because we want to actually finish the fight. We don't want to get stuck on Cooler for too long, and Trunks can't crit. That's the problem with INT Physical and AGL, is if you don't have dupes in your units, they don't have the ability to crit. So if you're in a battle where you have type disadvantage, you can find you get stuck for a while. But there you go, so crit for almost 1 million, which is good. And then he dodges the first attack, dodges the second attack. There's only a 5% chance, so there you go. Prince is showing off for his showcase there. So level 5 in dodge is only a 5% chance to dodge, and it went off twice in a row, so that's pretty good. Sadly, Gogeta is going to eat a massive supernova, but he comes out the other side still intact, so we will heal up here just in case, since he'll probably, even with basic attacks, he's probably going to deal quite a bit to Bardock, and then just grab those to finish him off. I've got no doubt that we're going to finish him up this turn, and Vegeta's not really around, so that kind of shows off what he can do. So he got his crit, did almost 1 mil with type disadvantage. Obviously crits ignore type advantage, and then we saw he took a lot less damage than anyone else on the rotation from the basic attack because his defense was so high, which we fortunately got to see because apparently he decided to dodge twice in a row. So he definitely showed out a little bit for this showcase, showing off just what he is capable of at 100%. So there you go. In Vegeta, definitely worth orb investment. If you obviously pull dupes for him, definitely worth getting him to Super Attack 10 and investing orbs into him. Going to be really good for Super Battle Road, and just an excellent addition to the Super INT team in general. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. If you liked what you saw, please leave a like and subscribe for more regular Dokkan Battle content. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Masked Ningen. Feel free to tweet me your summon pulls or ideas on themes or teams you want to see in the future, and I will see you again soon. Have a good one.